James Kaufman, World News Report today. Democrats want to ban immigration enforcement from all polling places. Go figure, right? Gee, do we even have to ask why that may be? These people are scum of the earth. Only U.S. citizens vote in U.S. elections per the law of this nation, the Constitution of the United States of America. And that goes for every nation, as a matter of fact. They will do anything to try to allow these illegal immigrants to vote in our national elections, even though it's against the law and reserved for U.S. citizens. And it's the only way they have any chance to win any of these elections. Should we just allow Chinese and Russian voters to vote in our elections from their homes in China and Russia as well? If so, we'd still have Biden running the country.
Mr. President, I just heard the minority leader come to the floor and speak about his ballooning list of demands that are designed to protect illegal immigrant criminals. That's what this is about. This is the discussion right now on the floor of the United States Senate. Democrats have come up with a Christmas list of demands designed to appeal to their radical base. This growing list of Democrat demands makes it almost impossible to remove dangerous illegal immigrants from the streets of our nation. Democrats are resisting even the most reasonable attempts to enforce our immigration laws. They don't want us, law enforcement, to enforce the immigration laws of this nation. That's what they are for, getting rid of those laws. The more we learn about the demands coming from the minority leader in that party, the less the normal American citizen likes them. And that's especially if you're concerned about any safety or any security in the community in which you live or the neighborhood or the streets of your community. The Democrats continually want to make it harder to arrest and remove illegal immigrant criminals. So last week I spoke about the one Democrat's dangerous demand for requiring something called judicial warrants. Now, it may sound like a technical change. It is not. It is a dramatic change, and it would grind immigration enforcement to a halt. You know what it would do? It would lock in place the chaos that Joe Biden and the Democrats foisted upon this country with their wide-open border policy. Democrats' preference is to release illegal immigrants who are criminals right onto our streets. They prefer that over holding them until immigration officials can come to pick them up if they've been arrested. So I'm going to take a look at one of the specific demands that the Democrats have come up with, and it's a new demand. Haven't seen this one before, because they want to ban immigration enforcement from their so-called sensitive locations. The so-called sensitive location defined by the Democrats, which in the past have included places of worship, hospitals, schools. Now they want to include in that list polling places. Well, let's think about that. It's an entirely new provision. Polling places have never been included on any list like this before, and Democrats are now including them because they want to turn America into a sanctuary country and polling places into a sanctuary location. That's what the Democrats are demanding. So let me ask Democrats a simple question. Why do you want to protect illegal immigrant criminals at polling places? What are they doing at polling places? They shouldn't be at U.S. polling places. Why would they be there? Why in the world would they be there if they are not trying to vote? And by law, they're not allowed to vote. That tells you how far to the left the Democrats have moved. Illegal immigrants aren't allowed to vote in federal elections. Sometimes Democrats will say that, but it's not what they want. Democrats seem fixated on protecting illegal immigrant criminals at polling places. Yet Democrats energetically oppose common sense policies to protect the integrity of the ballot. The integrity of the ballot, it is a vital right of American citizenship. The sanctity of the ballot. Democrats oppose photo IDs to vote. You need one to check out a book at the library. You need one to get on a plane. You need one to buy a beer. But the Democrats don't want you to have to produce a photo ID to vote, which is a sacred right of citizenship. That's because Democrats oppose election integrity. They oppose ensuring American elections are dedicated and decided only by American citizens. They don't want that. They believe it disadvantages them to have just citizens vote. And they support banning immigration enforcement at polling places. It's astonishing. That's how far to the left the socialist-driven Democrat Party has moved. Illegal immigrants shouldn't be at polling places as illegal immigrant criminals, and they shouldn't be roaming our communities. They need to be arrested and removed from the country. Once again, Democrats are putting illegal immigrants ahead, who are criminals, ahead of the safety and security of the American people. Taken together, the list of Democrat demands points in one dangerous direction, and that's the direction of abolishing ICE, abolishing our borders, and turning America into a sanctuary nation. Republicans will not accept changes that make our communities less safe. The deadline that Democrats have demanded to fund the Department of Homeland Security is Friday, 3 days from now. The Department of Homeland Security budget is $90 billion. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement is 11% of that. Democrats are risking America's safety over 11% of the Department of Homeland Security budget. The rest of the budget goes to other critical functions that American people depend upon and need right now. And that's because it funds FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, for disaster relief, as our nation is trying to still deal with the effects of a recent storm. It funds TSA to help keep Americans safe when they fly. It funds the Coast Guard to stop the flow of drugs and what's been coming across to our shores from foreign countries. It funds the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency to protect our nation from cyber attacks, and more. So this week, Senate Democrats have a choice to make. Option one, fund the Department of Homeland Security. Option two, Democrats can once again side with the radical left and force a shutdown of the vital services to the American people. And why do they want to do that? To protect illegal immigrant criminals. If Democrats choose option two, it will force a shutdown to protect illegal immigrants. The consequences to the American people will be painful. The Democrats have been choosing that side again and again. Safety and prosperity for the Republican choice, illegal immigrant criminals, the Democrat choice in the floor of the United States Senate. Democrats seem to be very willing to delay disaster relief, to disrupt air travel for every American, to degrade anti-drug operations, and our nation will be more vulnerable to cyber attacks. All of these key missions, they're conducted by the Department of Homeland Security. The one branch of government that has not yet been funded. We've done 11 of the 12 appropriations bills. We have funded 96% of the government, and the Democrats said, nope, we're not going to fund that vital function of the government, because that's the demand of the radical left. Republicans are ready to vote to keep America safe, and we've been ready for weeks. To the point, weeks ago, the House of Representatives passed a bipartisan appropriations bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Senate Democrats had agreed to what was in the bill. Then the Democrats flip-flopped. And they did it, why? Because of the cries from the radical left, the people that are calling the tune for that party. Democrats were for it, before they were told to be against it. Democrats need to start protecting the American people and stop protecting illegal immigrant criminals. It's that simple. But today, Democrats on this floor, we just heard it from the minority leader, continue to be the party of open borders and illegal immigrants. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield.
Yet I don't yield the floor. Let's put every one of these Democrats in jail for breaking these laws. Y'all gotta step your game up big time in the House and in the Senate. Our two weakest players are the House Representatives, GOP, and the Senate, GOP. And we're only as good as our weakest players. If those are the best 400 or 500 people we have in the country to run the nation, then this nation is in more than a little trouble. We might as well just hang it up, because these people stink. They couldn't run a lemonade stand. I've got an 11-year-old, lives next door, got more common sense than everyone on this floor. God bless you guys. Hopefully you do too. That is, have more common sense than anyone on this floor. Get rid of these old farts. And anyone that's a wild freak. And let's get some people in there that represent America. God bless you guys. Share, subscribe, and always remember, anything is possible. As you can see, everything has been possible in the bizarro world.